considerably when he became involved in a minor scandal, but it wasn't serious enough to keep him out of the House of Frankenstein the following year, or the House of Dracula a couple of years after that. By the way, he received fourth billing ahead of Bela Lugosi as the monster. That was Madame Maria Ospinskaya as the gypsy. She originated the character in the first Wolfman picture, you may remember. She was one of two people that played the gypsies. Bela Lugosi, of course, was the other one. Patrick Knowles, who played Dr. Mannering, was also in the Wolfman, but not as the same character this time. And finally, that was Dwight Fry as Rudy the Tailor. He was featured in both Frankenstein and in Dracula as well. Now, let's take a look at this.
Next on American Movie Classics, Dangers in the Air.
Roland Lee understood that when he was producing and directing Son of Frankenstein. Its budget went up and down and then back up again. Universal assigned the picture a budget, and then they told Roland Lee to make the film in Technicolor. Now, color is a lot more expensive, so Lee fought to get the budget raised to $300,000. Meanwhile, everybody involved, especially the costume and set people, went ahead and they began designing for a color movie. Then they did some camera tests on Boris Karloff in the monster makeup, and he looked just ghastly, but not in the way a monster is supposed to look ghastly. He just looked unrealistic. So they decided now to go back to black and white again, which meant that everything, sets and costume and makeup, had to be redesigned now for black and white. When they started filming, things that seemed great on paper were just not working. So they rewrote scenes as they did them. That takes time and takes money too, so once again, the budget shot up. Also, Lee quickly realized that Bela Lugosi was so good in the role of Igor that it was really a shame that he had so few lines. Lugosi's part was then padded as they went along, adding dialogue and business for him. And that took even more time. Probably it was worth it all because Lugosi almost steals the show from Boris Karloff and Basil Rathbone. Here they all are in Son of Frankenstein.
Herewith I deed to you the castle and the estates of Frankenstein. Do with them what you will, and may happiness and peace of mind be restored to you all. Goodbye. Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, Baron. Goodbye, Peter.
So, did the monster and Igor really die? Well, as for the monster, I can say yes and no. Boris Karloff was annoyed that the character, who was so sympathetic in the original Frankenstein, had been reduced to a kind of one-dimensional monster character, so after Son of Frankenstein, he refused to play the part again. He appeared in later Frankenstein movies, but never again as the monster. So, Boris Karloff's monster was gone, never to return. But of course, movie monsters are extremely resilient, as we've seen, even when you kill them off 3 or 4 times. So, there were later Frankenstein sequels, and somehow the monster did survive, as well as Bela Lugosi's Igor. Bela Lugosi once again donned the Igor makeup 3 years later. That was for the Ghost of Frankenstein. By the way, the script for Son of Frankenstein was written by Willis Cooper, the creator of the successful radio horror show Lights Out. Do you remember that? Boy, we used to watch that in the living room in the days when we used to turn out the lights and look at the radio. That was a scary piece of work. Now let's take a look at this.
Next on American Movie Classics, Kay Kaiser, Boris Karloff, Peter Lorre, and Bela Lugosi team up for an evening of music, mystery, and murder in You'll Find Out. It's next on American Movie Classics.